Custom when I was about 11 or 12 years old. And that was the guitar that was the archetype for everything. I need things to balance, so I knew if I was gonna have a black guitar, I need to have a white guitar as well. I wanted to make sure that every piece of hardware was identical across the two guitars. So that's why this one has the same black and gold as the black guitar. To have consistency amongst the hardware, which maybe is just more for me than anyone else. With my approach to design or my approach to aesthetics, I always try to put just as much care as I would in visuals, even though I'm not an artist for visual art, as I would the auditory art. It's typically always been things that I can't make are the things that inspire me the most. Food, art, and then in turn that helps feed the musical inspiration for me. With the timelessness of the Les Paul Custom and the look of the Les Paul Custom, I didn't want to deviate too far. I never have either. I've never wanted to go full-blown artwork on the guitar itself other than the most classic look. I've always felt there's something about that black and gold Les Paul Custom, the white and gold Les Paul Custom that you've seen 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. That's always been something that's been imprinted in my brain. So I wanted to keep that going. And I always do have the concept of whether someone is a Trivium fan or not, I want them to want the instrument. And that was the concept with the original Les Paul with the black and the Snowfall. And it's absolutely the case again with the Origin. I want people to go, even if they don't know who I am or aren't a fan, that they still need the guitar. Trivium is just as known sonically for the 7-string range as it is the 6, so it's very important to me that if there was going to be a signature guitar, back to having the compulsions of having things balanced and equal, I needed a 7 as well. So I needed to make sure that if Trivium fans are going out and get these guitars, they could play every single song of ours the exact same way that I would, so I needed to have those 2 strings. And now having 6/7 black and white, 6/7 right and left is incredible. So now we'll finally be able to satisfy all the lefties who've been feeling left out for the last couple of years. I started using 7-string on Trivium on the Crusade record, which is our 3rd record, which is a primarily pretty thrash metal record, but we've got a couple songs that go into that progressive, lower range. I always like having more options, so 6, 7, and someday 8 and 9 Les Pauls, we'll see. I've said since I was about 10 or 11 that I wanted to score Doom specifically. Haven't done that yet, but I just was signed up to my first video game soundtrack, which is incredible. I'm using all my Epiphone Les Pauls on there. I've been using that for everything I've been doing lately, and actually the last several records of Trivium, Vengeance Falls, Silence in the Snow, The Sin of the Sentence, What the Dead Men Say, In the Court of the Dragon were all done with my original Epiphone MKHs, which is amazing. Since before my father ever had a son, he knew he wanted a son that played Les Paul. So I believe that that was ingrained into my DNA to want to be a Les Paul player. The DNA of my guitars is there, and it's just a matter of constantly striving and seeing where else I can go and what else I can do.